phones, Babylons can't crack the code.
Ohio State football. Ohio State is probably one of the best college football programs of all time, and if you were to ask any fans about Ohio State football, they will likely tell you that Ohio State has a rich football tradition that is always competing for national titles year in and year out. They are a blue blood school, and they've had some of the best college football quarterbacks in college football history. But let's get back to that quarterbacks thing. Here is a very bad streak that Ohio State quarterbacks have had in the NFL. It's either a curse or it's just a very unlucky streak that has yet to be broken. Since 1980, they've had 20 different quarterbacks lead the team in passing, and even some that were elite college football quarterbacks, and only one has started more than 5 games and finished with a winning record. Today's video will be about the Ohio State quarterback curse and the very unlucky streak that they've had with quarterbacks in the NFL. I will be talking about the pretty recent quarterbacks from Ohio State that have made it to the NFL, starting in the early 2000s to present day. And for the sake of this video, I will not be mentioning Braxton Miller because in his last year of college football, he did switch to wide receiver, and in the NFL, he played wide receiver. To start off the curse of the quarterbacks for Ohio State in this video, I will be talking about Troy Smith. Now, Troy Smith was a quarterback for Ohio State from 2003 to 2006. Now, Troy Smith, in his career, completed 63% of his passes while throwing for 5,720 yards, 54 touchdowns, and only 13 interceptions. And on the ground in his career, he rushed for 1,168 yards and 14 touchdowns. Not only that, in the 2006 college football season, Troy Smith's final season at Ohio State, he was the Heisman winner. But that did not matter for the NFL draft, as he was drafted in the 5th round, 174th overall pick by the Baltimore Ravens in the 2007 NFL draft. Troy Smith would only be in Baltimore for 3 seasons, and he only started 2 games while he was there, being 1-1 as a starting quarterback. And then in 2010, he was a starting quarterback for San Francisco in 6 games where he went 3-3, completed 50% of his passes, threw for 1,176 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. But after the 2010 NFL season, that was the end of his NFL career. Terrelle Pryor had a very good career at Ohio State in the 3 seasons he was there. In his career, he completed 61% of his passes while throwing for 6,177 yards, 57 touchdowns, and only 26 interceptions. Not to mention, on the ground, he rushed for 2,164 yards, averaging an impressive 5 yards per carry, and 17 touchdowns as well. Now, Terrelle Pryor going into his senior season was expected to be a Heisman finalist, but he would not come back for his senior season at Ohio State due to being suspended, and he did not want to miss most of the season. Due to this, he would enter his name into the NFL supplemental draft in 2011, where he was drafted in the 3rd round, 1st overall by the Oakland Raiders. Terrelle Pryor's quarterback career in the NFL was very short-lived. He spent most of his time as a quarterback in Oakland, where in the 2013 NFL season, he actually did start most of the games for the Raiders. He started 9 games for the Raiders that season, but he did not show very good potential as a quarterback. He went 3-6 that season, only completing 57% of his passes, throwing for 1,798 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. And after that season, he would no longer be with Oakland, and for a couple seasons after that, he was struggling to get on teams as a quarterback, often getting released quite a bit, bouncing from team to team, until he ultimately decided that he was going to switch from quarterback to wide receiver. Terrelle Pryor as a receiver had one really big season in 2016 with Cleveland, where he had over 1,000 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns, but after that, he left Cleveland and he was struggling with injury issues and is now a free agent in the NFL. The next quarterback I'm going to be talking about today is J.T. Barrett. Now, J.T. Barrett, in my opinion, had a very underrated career at Ohio State. I mean, this guy in his career in the 4 seasons he was at Ohio State not only won a national championship. I know he wasn't the starting quarterback in the game, but he won a national championship. In the 4 seasons he was there, he passed for 9,434 yards, completed 64% of his passes, while having 104 touchdowns and only 30 interceptions. Not to mention, this guy was a true dual-threat quarterback. On the ground, he had 3,263 rushing yards, averaging 5 yards per carry, and a total of 43 touchdowns on the ground as well. Despite having a star-studded career at Ohio State, J.T. Barrett went undrafted in the 2018 NFL Draft. Then he signed as an undrafted free agent to the New Orleans Saints. Since then, J.T. Barrett has bounced around from practice squad to practice squad, team to team, being cut multiple times by multiple different teams, and he has yet to make one active roster yet. The next quarterback I'm going to be talking about is Cardell Jones. Now, Cardell Jones, unlike all the other quarterbacks I've mentioned so far, has not really been the main quarterback at Ohio State while he was there, but he was pretty vital for their national championship that they did win in 2014 because he was the quarterback that actually started for them when J.T. Barrett was hurt. Now, Cardell Jones in his 3 seasons at Ohio State, like I said, mainly split time, but in those 3 seasons, he did complete 62% of his passes, throwing for 2,322 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. Now, this might surprise a lot of y'all. Even though Cardell Jones at Ohio State was splitting a lot of time when he was playing with J.T. Barrett, he was still drafted in the 4th round in the 2016 NFL Draft by the Buffalo Bills. Cardell Jones' NFL career did not pan out the way many people thought it would. He was only on an active roster for 1 season with the Bills in his rookie year, in which he threw 0 touchdowns and 1 interception, and after that season, he got dealt off to the Chargers, got put on the practice squad, got cut, then he was put on the Seahawks practice squad, got cut again, then took his talents to the XFL where he got off to a very fast start with the DC Defenders, but as we know, the XFL eventually had to close shop because of the pandemic, and since then, Cardell Jones did get a tryout with the Oakland Raiders right before the season started, but nothing has come of it, and he has not played in the NFL since his rookie season. Now, you might be saying to yourself, dude, none of these guys were early draft picks at all, and none of them were first-round quarterbacks. It's not like they were expected to be a franchise piece or be a future of someone's team. With that being said, the next quarterback I'm going to be talking about is Dwayne Haskins. Now, Dwayne Haskins at Ohio State really truly only started 1 season, which was the 2018 college football season, in which he was a Heisman finalist, and he had a very good season where he completed 70% of his passes, throwing for 4,831 yards, 50 touchdowns, and only 8 interceptions. After a breakout 2018 season, Dwayne Haskins would declare early for the 2019 NFL Draft, where going in, he was seen as the 2nd best quarterback and was seen as a possible top 5 pick, but that would not happen. He would end up falling all the way to the 15th pick and the 3rd quarterback selected by the Washington football team. Dwayne Haskins with the football team was very, very disappointed. He was cut before his 2nd season even ended. He had maturity issues, and on the field, he was just straight up not playing very good. And in the 2 seasons he was at Washington, he went 3-10 as a starting quarterback, only completing 60% of his passes, throwing for 2,804 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. After being cut by the Washington football team, Dwayne Haskins has signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers, more than likely to be the backup quarterback to Ben Roethlisberger and to possibly be the quarterback after Ben Roethlisberger retires. Now we get to the part of the video where I'm going to talk about the potential quarterback that will either break the curse or join it. Justin Fields has had an amazing career at Ohio State, where he has shown to be a very good quarterback through the air and on the ground, and is currently seen as a for sure first-round pick in this upcoming 2021 NFL Draft, and one of the top quarterbacks as well, and definitely a quarterback that a lot of teams are going to go after to be their future quarterback of their team. But the question is, will Justin Fields break the curse, or will he just join it? Leave your comments down below. And before I get off, remember to smash that like button, turn on them post notifications, and subscribe for more videos. B. Kelly out.